everyone, I'm Selena Hill, and this is the new norm on Black Enterprise, sponsored by Cadillac, where I speak to dynamic leaders, entrepreneurs, and public figures about their latest projects and the impact they're making in today's world. Today, I have the privilege to speak with Ayesha Curry and Sydel Curry, the co-founders of Domaine Curry, a Napa Valley wine brand created in homage to the powerful women in their family. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So I want to start with this venture that you two decided to take back in 2015. What led you to open your own wine company?
You want me to take it?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy when every time we hear that out loud, because 2015, though it doesn't seem like that long ago, hypothetically, it's almost a decade ago. We're headed into 2025, and just think that's wild, and it's a true representation of how much work this has taken to get to where we are. But we really, it started out, as a way for us to do something together as sisters to, at the time we were both in hospitality. And I think nothing is more hospitable than a glass of wine. We also were located so close to Napa Valley and had access to so many incredible winemakers and just people that were knowledgeable about wine. And so, really, it was a true passion project that was going to lead us through kind of this school of wine, and at the end have this beautiful product that we were able to offer to people, but also create this like impactful, lasting legacy for the women in our family. Over in France and overseas, some of those vines are, hundreds and hundreds of years old. And so for us to have the opportunity to kind of stake our claim in the Napa Valley region and kind of hopefully generations down the line get to that point, I think was really enticing to us.
Amazing. Well, that leads us to the recent acquisition that your company had with Prison Wine Company. Talk about that process. Is that something that you guys were expecting and always aiming for, or did it sort of fall in your lap?
So actually it's when you talk about this venture and it really forming in the basis of passion and wanting something that was genuine, this acquisition with the Prisoner Wine Company falls right into that. So at the time, Ayesha and I were one of the main issues that we had with Domaine Curry was our production. It was very low. And so we were selling, it's a good problem, but we were selling out very fast. And so not being able to put it in the moments and communities and the way that we wanted to get it out there, the way that we wanted to a part of our mission. So we were just kind of going back and forth, like, how do we get this out there? What can we do? And our former partner came to us and said, well, there's a company that really is interested in acquiring Domaine Curry. And we just kind of went to this meeting like, we have no idea what to expect. We have no idea what is going to be said. And we did know that when we went into the meeting that we wanted to make sure that they knew that if they do acquire Domaine Curry, they're acquiring not just the name, but they're acquiring Ayesha and I as people and as women. And want to be just as much, if not more, involved in the process and the wine continuing forward. So we came out of that meeting just like, wow, this is great. Not only were they welcoming of our involvement, but they also were wanting to break that barrier of Black women in wine that we also want to do as well. Black women are drinking wine. There's like $1.6 trillion worth of buying power in the Black community. And so where's that representation in the wine industry and in Napa and overall? And so that's kind of another one of our missions that the Prisoner Wine Company also lined up with was we want to break that barrier as well. And so it just kind of matched very genuinely, very authentically, and it's been a great partnership since.
What has been your experience navigating the wine industry as owners, as Black women? Have you faced any challenges?
I would say I'd first like to, because I think it's always hard when you lead with the negative. And so I want to lead with the positive and saying that the wine industry is incredible. It has welcomed us with open arms. Everybody has been really shepherd like when it comes to including us in this journey that for some of them comes from generations of experience. They've welcomed us just unapologetically, immediately, and like with bright eyes and bushy tails. And so we've always been appreciative of that and how the industry is like warm and fuzzy in that sense. But I think that one challenge maybe that we faced is getting people to maybe see us as wine professionals outside of being wine students. And so everybody's always willing to pour us a glass, but is anybody willing to, taste what we have to offer and hear from us the value in our wine? And so I think it's been a slow but steady journey in getting people to realize, no, these women are serious and they know what they're talking about.
What have you learned about business, about the business part of the wine industry throughout this journey?
It's ever evolving. Just like with any business, it goes through its ups and downs, and you kind of have to be able to work with your demographic. You have to also have a set demographic that you want to go towards and speak to them, but then still push forward that this is for everyone. And so I think that I don't know. I just think it's just like with any other business. You just kind of have to go with the ebbs and flows of it. I don't know, Ayesha, what do you've got Sweet July
Yeah,
also too. So
I was gonna say, like, playing by the rules will get you nowhere. In this particular industry. You can follow those like set, let's call them commandments of wine that you use, whether it's the process in which you make the wine. But when it comes to your storytelling and who you're catering to and who is going to enjoy this bottle of wine, for us, it's ourselves first. And then everybody follows suit. And we find that that gives us an authenticity that cannot be taken away. And so for us, it's what we've learned very quickly. I'd say like 4 to 5 years into starting this journey was like, we cannot play by these traditional rules and we truly need to be authentically ourselves.
Speaking of enjoying the wine, I had my first taste of Domaine Curry wines, all three at Tatiana's when we were there together. It was a great tasting. The food was great and the wine was great. Talk about just the flavors and just the roles that you guys put into creating your first three wines.
So one of our favorite things to do is sit down at that blending table and put our little science chemist hats on and just like blend these flavors together that we know and love. I think one of my favorite things about Domaine Curry is how Aisha and I came together and put in a bottle things that we love to drink and then getting it being so well received by everyone else. I think it just goes to show to like staying true to who you are. So the three varietals that we have our Cabernet Sauvignon, we have our our Founder's Blend, which is a red blend, and we have our Sauvignon Blanc. And our two reds are our flagships, our bread and butters. But once we had come out with our reds, I want to speak on the Sauvignon Blanc. Aisha can speak on the reds. But the Sauvignon Blanc was our third integration, and it's literally like my love baby. At the time, I loved drinking Sancerres and Sauvignon Blancs, and so our winemaker Chrissy Whitman, who is brilliant and has been such a pivotal role in just Domaine Curry since the acquisition, listen to what we like to drink and with the Sauvignon Blanc. And one of the flavor notes that I love to pinpoint is a little bit of a white gummy bear, and it kind of speaks to like the adult kid in us, because you get that like hint of gummy bear, but with a wine varietal. And so that's what I love, especially living in Arizona. We drink it all year round, and it's got that nice crisp stone fruit flavor to it. But obviously around the holidays, our reds are big time sellers and a great thing to serve at dinners and as gifts.
The
Yeah.
red was my favorite as well.
Yeah.
Which
It's
red, the Cabernet or the Founder's Blend?
I think it was the Cabernet,
So
the
that's like
last one that was
that's
served.
like our kind of our ethos where we started our origin story. And it's kind of that it's that big drink, it's that big bold glass of wine, kind of on the heels of how this whole thing started. And I think that it'll just always remain classic in that sense, whether you're having a cheese plate, a big steak, or everything in between. I think that's what I love about like our blending sessions is we bring two different flavor profiles and palettes to the table. So Sydel leads with savory. She's like a savory girl through and through. She loves like salty chips and like popcorn and sunflower seeds and then there's me and like I initially was like leading with the sweet, and so I was the girl that would like look at the dessert menu before I would order dinner. That shifted a little bit, but we found this beautiful balance in our palates to create these incredible explosive wines that kind of cater to everybody. And now I think both of us kind of settle to where the dessert's kind of out the window now, and we kind of are cheese plate girls.
must have a glass of wine with the cheese.
Yes.
We love to
Yeah.
drink.
I love that. Sydel, you posted a picture revealing that you are pregnant with your third child. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank
Ayesha, we know that you have 4 beautiful babies.
Yes.
How do you guys balance motherhood with running a wine company and all the other things that you do? Ayesha, we know you have Sweet July. We know you both are heavily active on social media. We know that you are also wives. So how do you balance everything?
Can I just? I thought you were going to ask how are we able to drink all this wine while having
I didn't do it. We take on a French approach.
That's the problem. We're drinking too much wine. Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ayesha.
I was gonna say we do take a French approach when it comes on to
About
our
35 weeks. I'm in it.
yeah. And then I would like to preface that that's a lot of babies within like a short amount of time frame, but we've had our best blends on the years where somebody's been pregnant. This is it. So we're gonna have to figure out what it is that makes the palette just that much greater. So Sydel, take all the notes. But I think for us, I think we're both very honest. I think when it comes to this, like we're like chickens running around with our heads cut off. Like it's not all. It might look cute, but it's chaotic and it's crazy. And I think just knowing that everybody else around you feels the same way, I think like adds fuel to the tank and kind of keeps you going. And you know that moments are so fleeting. And so that while things feel crazy right now, there's going to come a day when we're going to be like twiddling our thumbs and looking around at each other, hoping for the opportunities that we have right now.
Mhm.
And so I think just like keeping that perspective kind of at least keeps me going.
It's also, I was blessed to be raised with my mom who owned a school for 30 years. And then she had 3 kids. Ayesha's mom was working up until just recently. She had 5 kids. So and then I also have Ayesha and my sister-in-law as role models on how to be a mother, but also so much more than that. And to have your own identity and your own entrepreneurships and everything like that. So it's really just kind of all I know. I don't know anything else but to try to do it all, but still offer myself grace and offer myself time to be with my kids and honor that, but honor the craziness of it all and just see how like it is possible. It's hard, it's demanding, it's exhausting, but I'm also trying to create a future for my daughter and my kids. And so they're also a driving force as well, because I want them to know when they get older, like, hey, I saw mom do it, I saw auntie do it, I saw grandma do it, so like I can do this too.
I remember at the tasting at Tatiana's, how you put so much emphasis on how this was inspired by the women in your families, and just their strength, and how, when there's moments of celebration, you guys always did it over a glass of wine. Can you talk about just the support that you've gotten from your family when it came to Domaine Curry?
Through and through. Like, everybody always shows up. It like doesn't matter if it's something small or massive, anything in between. Like, everybody always shows up for each other, and I think it's such a beautiful thing. There's just like an interconnected transit line of support across the freaking continent, to be honest. And so it's really nice to have that. And when you look at the core of who is doing the running around and who is doing the on the ground, boots on the ground support, it's always the women. And so for us, it made sense as women to have that be what we're paying homage to through and through.
I tell you what, there's nothing like the holidays that shows you what the women are doing. Because I was like, me and my husband got into it this morning. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm getting the gifts. I'm doing all this. I'm doing all that. I'm doing all this. Obviously very appreciative of his work, because what they do is not easy. They're traveling. They're gone all the time. But boots on the ground, getting things done, making sure that birthdays are good, holidays are good, our business, like doing just all of the surrounding things are running, and there needs to be homage paid to the women who are just core memories, and we're just making it happen.
So what's next for Domaine Curry?
I hate that we can't like speak to it literally, but a personal hope of mine are some bubbles, like a little champagne hopefully is in our future. A new blend is hopefully in our future. But I think like really solidifying our space in the market is like what our hope is. We love events, like we love interacting with people. And so a lot more of that in 2025 and beyond. I feel like we're going to need it too. We're going to need that camaraderie and that togetherness for the next couple years. And so I look forward to being able to kiki or complain or vent with all of our consumers over a nice glass of wine.
Absolutely.
And Sydel, what are you looking forward to the most when it comes to Domaine Curry?
Just getting it into more moments, getting it into the moments of like-minded people who just want to celebrate themselves, romanticize small moments, because that's kind of what life is about, is taking small moments and making them big. And for me, that includes a bottle of wine with friends, with family. And so wanting to see Domaine Curry in those moments as a representation of Ayesha and I, in those moments with them and that community that's surrounded, is so important. So yeah, I can't wait to see it just go further. And really with this acquisition, with the Prisoner Wine Company, the sky's the limit. And so we're just really excited to just keep going. We're only in our first year and a half of the acquisition. So we've done a lot within a short amount of time. So it's actually really exciting to see, what a couple years will do for us.
Amazing. Well, I want to thank you both for your time today. Please keep me in mind for the events. I had a great time. You two are such inspirations when it comes to women, especially Black women in business, mothers, wives. Like, I know it's not all glitz and glam, but for what we see you guys putting your best foot forward, and it is inspiring. So thank you.
Thank you.